was 21 years old. I was a Foreign Service officer living in Washington. And many weekends I would fly to Boston and take the last Eastern shuttle out of Boston back to Nashville. On one occasion, I got stuck at National Airport probably at 11 o'clock at night. And he saw me there, approached me, and got his driver to drive me to my apartment in Arlington and drop me off. He was, I think, 34 years old, second year in the Senate, and I was a 21-year-old Foreign Service officer. That would have been 1966, early 67.
You talked about being at Rose Kennedy's funeral.
I went to Rose Kennedy's funeral with Sister Kathy Harrington, who runs the John Boyd Center. And I recall leaving the church in the north end of Boston and being taken aback by the fact that there were literally thousands of people outside the church behind police lines, and there were television cameras and staging set up. And Ted set up kind of a receiving line as people came down the steps of the church. Kathleen and I went through the line, offered our condolences, kept moving. And a few moments later, I could hear my name being called, and I turned, and Ted was motioning at me to come back. And I went back. He talked to me for a few moments, shook my hand again, and we left. Later, when I got back to my office, it turned out that this had all been televised. A number of people called asking what Ted Kennedy had spoken to me about. And I remember, I think I told people that he wanted a quick summary of my views in the Middle East peace process. In reality, what he had done is he called me back and said, "Jay, last night I had dinner with Father Wolf down the Cape, and he told me that Greg is really doing well at Conley, and I want you to make sure you tell him that and give him my regards." And I think that's a pretty good indication of what kind of a guy Ted Kennedy was. One of the most familiar faces probably in the world, surrounded by the high and the mighty, who took the time in the middle of his mother's funeral, probably on national television, to call back a nobody lawyer and his date a nun from Fall River, Massachusetts, to pass on a positive comment about a 14-year-old kid. In the end, Ted Kennedy had what the Sisters of Mercy used to tell us as children, what they characterized as a happy death. Unlike a number of his siblings, in that he knew that he was dying, and was given the time and the grace, to get through the year, to really savor the last year of his life, and to do what he wanted to do, live each day. And that's kind of a gift.